positivity, motivation. Never settle for average. You know how we do it over here. I want to talk about the agent provocateurs, the ambassadors of chaos, and what we see going on across the country right now on the college campuses. You have this outbreak of anti-Jewish support and all these so-called college students backing the Palestinian and some appear to even be pro-Hamas movement. What is going on? Where did all this come from? And who's funding it? Now, you're talking on some of these campuses, tuition is $35,000, $40,000, I don't know, $25,000 a year. And these students have the means and the resources to say, F it, we're gonna go out here and we're gonna stand behind this movement that we feel needs to be addressed on campus, which is creating this big divide during an election year. Who paid for all the tents? Who organized behind closed doors this protest? Doesn't this have a distinct reminiscent of the organized Antifa protests? In my eyes, it seems like similar agent provocateurs are behind this. Why all of a sudden now there's all this blowback for students who are Jewish who are trying to get their education? There's students in UCLA that can't even go to the dorms to, sleep in peace, and that don't have access to things that they've prepaid for. USC is talking about canceling graduation. And these quote unquote students who are behind this pro-Palestinian movement, where were they at when our homeless vets were dealing with suicide daily? Or the fentanyl crisis? Or the trafficking of young people? Where were they behind all those different issues that affect Americans right here? How informed are these students who are protesting, which we have so many issues here in America, but there's no stance being taken? Do you not see what the grand plan is? The grand plan is to destroy America. First, it was, through the whole racial thing, which you can go back and you'll know what I'm talking about. Now it's dividing through the religious aspect, and on top of if you say that you're somebody who believes in this country, you're a patriot, then you're considered a threat. I mean, how many different divides are they going to come up with? It's like never ending, man. As soon as, people feel like they can heal and move forward, here they go with another one. And you have these, like I said, these students who are probably the least informed on really what's going on, but yet they're willing to compromise their degrees at these universities to take a stand. Do they not know that all this stuff is recorded? And literally, most of those students who are rambunctiously acting as though they've supported a cause that's going to change the world, that their degrees are garbage now, that going into the future, employers, when they go through and do background checks, they're hit. You got to know what you're standing behind before you go and just take a stand. It's like being in a prison riot and you got your face covered up. You think they don't know who it is, and then later on when they go cell to cell, they have you down and they know exactly who you are and where you were during the riot. Come on, man. You guys aren't thinking. And they got you riled up for the wrong things, the things you should be riled up about, which make a difference in American culture, protecting the border, protecting our communities, the drug epidemic, the homelessness, the veterans, with the suicide, the communities with lack of education, the lack of trades in the communities. Why aren't you guys standing up for stuff like that? You picked the wrong causes, man, and they got you, talking about something where you don't even know what's going on over there. But what you see on your phone, you just jump to conclusions. I'm not jumping to any conclusions, and I'm not even going to speak on what I assume because I haven't been there. But one thing I do know is I'm not going to get behind anybody who's pushing a hateful agenda, somebody who's trying to create more divide. I'm not going to group up and put myself in a situation where I'm going to compromise my well-being for others for the sake of being herded into a group of people who are pushing something they don't know really what they're pushing. Fighting and beating up other students, taking over the campuses, replacing an American flag with a Palestinian flag. Get the hell out of here, man. This is not Palestine. This is America. And I stand by America, like a lot of other Americans. People who have had family members who have served this country, who believe in the values and what this country stands for. It's disgusting, man. It's disgusting, and I feel for all the students who have put the time in and now have compromised their graduation as a result of trying to, continue to finish off their semesters, but are having their lives endangered. And a lot of these other students, man, they just don't know how messed up their degrees are now. Their degrees is pretty much, you might as well use those things for paperweights, because people are they're gonna know that where you were during these riots. You're gonna be screened, and whatever jobs you thought you were gonna get in going forward in some of these places, this right here is going to definitely impact you. And you were tricked by an agent provocateur. I don't know who the mastermind behind it was, but I can only assume, because this person's been behind a lot of other chaotic situations in America, funding destruction, whether it's through people in office or prosecutors or defund the police. The same person's behind it all, or group of people behind it all. But you let me know who you think is behind this divide and this separation, and what you think the outcome's going to be. But I know a lot of these people who think that they're going to walk away from this and not have any repercussions are in for a rude awakening going into the future. So leave a comment, share the channel, go to BigHerc916.com, pick up some merch. And it's just sad. I had a friend who I know who was Jewish, who was dealing with a situation, speaking on a college campus, and had to get a police escort because of the ignorance. Straight ignorance, man.
Are you tired of smelling funky? Have you lost your ass? Go to BigHerc916.com.
Officially, I only got one real spanking my entire life. My mom did the best a 14-year-old could do raising me with love and instilling values that will last a lifetime. I was a straight A student and lived to make her happy. So how did I go astray? A horrible stepdad that stole my self-worth and invoked fear turned me into a person that I struggled to overcome. From skateboarding to selling drugs, gang banging in juvenile hall, I got caught the same way many young promising men get caught up. I struggled to find my identity, getting mixed up in shootouts, crime, and the adult entertainment industry. This roller coaster continued as I juggled college, hustling, and Hollywood, eventually catching a federal bank robbery case. I found redemption in prison while serving a 120-month federal sentence and came out a man on a mission. I became a social media influencer with over 500 million views on YouTube and a life coach mentoring people all over the world. This is my journey against all odds.